Good evening. We are on the shore of South Branch Campground. Me and some friends are spending the night here at the campground, and tomorrow we will be hiking the Traveler Loop. It's about an 11-mile loop, and it hit 3 peaks. It is a pretty cool day hike, and the best way to do it is to stay at the campground the night before. We've got a lean-to. I'll throw a couple pictures in. And then get up in the morning, move your car to the parking lot, and then do the day hike. If it's hot, you can jump in here after the hike is over if you want to cool off. But it's been pretty cool the last few nights. It's 62 degrees right now, so it's supposed to be 70 clear with 5-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, so just perfect for hiking. And I don't have this campground or this hike on my channel yet, so I thought it was time to get it up on there. So we'll be doing a little loop tomorrow, and hope you come along with us. Good morning. Had a very restful night's sleep in the lean-to number 8 up here at South Branch Campground, and just moved the car. Says you have to be checked out by 11. We won't be done the hike probably till after lunchtime, so just move the car right down there to their parking lot and leave it there. I can back up to the lean-to. Everybody else is waiting for me, and we get our bags, get on the trail. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty nice day. It was a little cold last night, but one good thing about car camping is you can bring plenty of stuff to stay warm. So we'll warm up soon anyway. The hike, you begin it along a lake, and then you jump up in elevation pretty quick. So we'll be sweating soon. This is the first little river crossing. Try not to get wet here. I usually worry about getting my sock. Made it. The trail goes around the lake until about 1.5 miles in through a nice forest trail, well marked. Really only one water crossing, but as you can see from this picture right here, this year being a dry year, there's not a lot of water. And then at the 1.5 mile mark, we start to go up to the first peak of the 3 of the traveler loop. We're doing the trail today in counterclockwise fashion. I don't know if you saw on the sign back there, but that's how they generally recommend doing it. And when you come in through the gate or check in at the ranger station at the campground, they will, if you tell them you've never been here before, and you tell them you're going to do the travel loops, they will suggest that to you. And I suggest it. All the times that I've done it, I always do it counterclockwise because it's pretty steep getting to elevation. And I don't know, at the end of the day, you're more tired, and not that going down the other side is much easier, but this is pretty steep. And going this way, you get a really good view of the water and the campground when you finish. And it's not in as many trees, so if it is getting late in the day, it's not as dark either. You can really take advantage of the sunlight. We have made it to the peak of the ridges, the first marked peak on the traveler loop. And just a beautiful day and a beautiful view. Great view looking down into the park. You see Wasaticook Stream down there. Great view of the mountain today. Over into the basin. See Mola and along the knife edge up to the south peak and then the summit. Just beautiful. That peak right up there, the Traveler Summit, and North Traveler Peak. Right there, back down to the lake. After you hit peak of the ridges, you come back down, give a little bit of elevation back. Not a lot, but it's a nice path in between peaks. It's a little rooty, but nothing like trails that are super well worn. This is a great trail, and I really think it's overlooked, to be honest, because it is in the north part of the park. And of course, Katahdin is the main attraction for everyone, but there's just the three of us, and we didn't sign out till 7:30, which isn't super late, but not super early. And there were only 2 people each hiking alone that signed out in front of us. And we already passed one of the people, so really, basically nobody out here but us. So it's just beautiful. Just a beautiful hike. A lot of views. You're in between these peaks, obviously. There's not views, but it's nice and cool, even with the sun shining. Very pretty. And again, not super well worn, so it's a comfortable trail to walk on. If you don't like hiking on rocks, this is not the trail for you. There are a lot of rocks, and there are anyway, and throughout Baxter State Park. That's why I think that when I was on my through hike last year, everybody kept talking about, Pennsylvania and Rocksylvania. It didn't really, it wasn't any fun, but it wasn't really any different than this stuff that I've hiked on up here, especially in the north part of the park for years. This is just, you're literally just walking on rocks most of the day. So not a lot of soft footpaths, except for like that video I showed back there a while ago. You get just a little bit of reprieve for a few minutes, and then it's back to these rocks. And there's no real trail. We've got the cairns here, obviously, to guide us, but you do have to watch your footing, especially when you're recording with one hand, because there are a lot of loose rocks. So you just have to slow down a little bit and make sure you know where each foot placement's going. But that's a cool little section right here along these rocks. You just go straight across. You can see back to where we were. Again, every time I do this hike, I have to remind myself what a tremendous day hike this is. Especially for views. I don't hike their views, but if you do, this is definitely a good trail for you. It's views all day, really. We are 5 miles in. Ooh, nice view of Katahdin back there. And we've made it to we made it to the Traveler Mountain. Traveler Mountain, the second. It says it's Maine's highest volcanic mountain. Okay. 3,541 feet. And I'm kind of whispering because Hunter, my son-in-law, he sees a bear over there. So we're going to try to go over some pictures or video of it. We're about 6 miles in, and again down in a little valley in between two peaks. We've got 2 out of the way. We're headed to the 3rd. Sun's come out. It's not super hot temperature-wise, but when you're full exposure on those rocks and that sun, it gets pretty hot. So it's been nice to get in the woods here. Get a little shade and cool off a little bit. We'll be in this for maybe another half mile, then we'll bounce back out onto the rocks. Some real good trail maintenance actually done, and some big trees in this section. I mean, the branches are tight here, but I don't really mind that. What I don't like is when you have to start climbing around, going under. Whenever I feel there's an extra chance to get hurt, by merely going around things that should be cleared. That's what I don't like. So, but a lot of fresh wood chips and things out here from chainsaws. Back there, they've cut up 3 or 4, maybe 5 big trees that were blown down across the trail. So much appreciate that. All right, we just came over that unnamed peak down through the woods, and we're back on kind of open rock now as we make our way up to the third and final peak of the Traveler Loop. It's nice to be out of the forest a little bit. Hardly any sun now, which is nice, so very comfortable walking on the rock face. We'll make our way up here, and then after that, it takes you down a nice ridge, and you get a real view, good view of the lake for quite a bit at the end. And as long as it's still decent out, I'm planning on jumping in that lake. We'll get some pictures from the top here. We are about 7.9 miles in, and we are approaching the third and final summit on the Traveler Loop. Amazing day so far. Continue to see over there. Traveler. We are past the third and final summit of this hike. We've got about 2.7-ish miles, and it's basically all down from here. We're going to end up going right down that ridge right there. And it's pretty, but it's also pretty sandy and slick. But the stuff is very slippery, so you do have to be careful when you go down it. I guess we go down, we might have a little climb there, but nothing of any significance like that stuff there. And you can just start to see the lake right there. As we get closer, we'll get a really good view of it. So I'm going to put this phone away while I'm on this scrabbly stuff so I don't fall on my butt. And take a couple pictures and get down to the lake. Hopefully it's still decent out. There's clouds coming in, but it's It's a little warm, so I would like to jump in the lake before we jump in the car for a 2.5-hour ride home. We have made it down off the mountain, and we are back to the sign that we passed this morning. So we have completed that loop portion. We'll be heading back on these bog bridges here back to the campground that we hiked in on this morning. That was about just about a 2,200-foot descent there down that ridge, and you saw the nice views of the lake. So that's pretty much it for the loop. I think it's going to end up being around 11 miles. I'll throw up at the end of this video the elevation gain and time and total mileage right after this, and maybe a few more pictures. It's time to go jump in the water and get cooled off for the ride home. Thanks for watching. Time of return 14:48. 14:48. It's in the book.
There it goes.
Woo!